In this week's video, I'm going to show you how to turn this very large brown box into NordicTrack's flagship rowing machine, the RW900. Let's get cracking. Delivery was very smooth. It's a 2-person delivery. The box is very heavy and it's awkward because of the shape as well. So get them to take it exactly to the room you're going to be using the rower in, because if you need to move it on your own afterwards, it's going to be difficult. The box does have these handholds, which are quite handy for moving it around. Now, I'd rather go home than ask for directions, but there are some good ones here. So you open the box from the top, you then take the cardboard out of the packaging, open the side, and then refer to the manual. So let's do that. It's probably going to take about half an hour to get it fully unpacked and in a good state for you to start building it. Also, if you're thinking about buying a NordicTrack rower or any other piece of NordicTrack equipment, I'll put a link in the description which will take you to the best price on NordicTrack's website, and it also helps support the channel, which is greatly appreciated. So we're pretty much there with the unpacking part. There's the main part of the rower there. The rest of the components are there. There's the screen. I'll put it to one side. Now, this part makes me nervous, and that is that you get a box cutter and you cut down here. So, on this side too, to open the front up. But this is where the rower is. Now, my mind, logically, I know that when I cut this line here, I'm going to be cutting into the polystyrene. So everything's good. I'm just a little bit nervous about doing it. Yeah, no need to be nervous then. Once unpacked, it will look like this and not too many parts. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Steve, that's clearly upside down. Do you know what you're doing? And the answer is yes, because we need to put the feet on. So you need it upside down to put the feet on. But my first tip is to make sure that you protect your floor, just in case you mark it. Now, I live in the UK, so all of this, and I would like to see NordicTrack just kind of replace this with cardboard, because although they've put a recycling logo on it, I don't know if you can see, it says 6. None of this can be recycled where I live, so maybe it can where you live. It's the same for all the bags as well. And at this point, you also want to make sure that the row bar is properly secured in the row hook. One thing that is excellent with NordicTrack is everything, every component you need, all the bolts, etc., are clearly marked. They're in this blister pack, and you only take them out of the blister pack when you need to use them. Step 1 is to put the front wheels on, and it says there very clearly this side against frame, and it's as simple as just popping that over the top of there. And I can see here that I need bolts 101, which are the first set of bolts here. And these bolts have got a little bit of Loctite on or something similar, and then when you put these in, you're just going to do them all the way up. So the next step is to fit the foot plates. So it's very easy. You've got right here to right here. It's important to remember that we're working upside down. So it goes on like that. And at this point, you probably want a second person to help support with this. You're going to need an extra bit of patience for this part here, because although it's not difficult, it is time consuming. I've only got this number 6 Allen wrench. I thought I had another one, like on a ratchet. And as you can see, I can only really turn this like a third of a turn each time. Once these are all tight and you've double checked them, the next thing to do, and you can see I've already done it on this side, is to put the underside of the pedal on. That just goes on. You will need a screwdriver for this part because it's got 2 screws. So the next step is to put the rear legs on. So I'm going to put that in place there. And then I'm going to put the long bolt through here, but I'm not going to fully tighten it. I'm just going to do this one loose for now. I've left that one loose, and then I'm going to put the 2 top ones in. And then once these bolts are tight, just going to finish off this one. And when you're sure everything's tight here, it's really important this is all tight. You just fit your cover and then use the 4 screws to cover it up. The next step, and NordicTrack recommend doing this with the second person, and so do I, is to gently turn the rowing machine on its side and then turn it onto its feet. Now, as much as they say to people, and I would recommend doing it with 2 people, you've just watched me do it. So the next step is to remove this when instructed, because this part is just to keep it stable when you've got it upside down. So I'm going to use my Allen key here just to undo it. It's all going really well. Compared to a bike and a treadmill, this is a lot easier to put together than those, and there's only one wire to connect. But the next part isn't that clear. Let me show you what I mean. The instructions say, just here, remove and discard the wire tie, helpfully not shown. There's a wire tie here, so I'm going to assume it's this one. This is a tie that's round a wire. You've also got that, and you might just be able to see there's another wire tie in there. So the reason I'm thinking it might be that one, but I'm not going to start with that one, is because once I connect the monitor, this can then push back into there, and right now it can't. So this is right where the cables are. You just need to be super careful when you're doing this one. Next part, I would say definitely get a second person. I'm going to take this, I'm going to turn the monitor over with a second person helping. I'm then going to insert it into here, and then I'm going to pop this bolt through. You will need another tool, and that's a 16mm spanner, just to tighten this up, not all the way. If you're in the US, that's 3/47 of a third and 2 hectares. I don't know, I'll put it on the screen. So I'm then just going to tighten the neck bolt, and then going to finish off this side one. Next step is around the other side, where I'm glad I didn't cut that one, because you don't need to cut that one. Well, I'm just going to connect these. So this is the only wire to connect on this whole thing. It's just really good, but it's important that it clicks. Hopefully my mic picked that up, and I'm just going to double check it, as well as just pushing all the connectors as well on either side. Just turn the screen around now, because I'm going to fit the neck shield. So that just goes on like that. It's important here that you just don't pinch any wires. So this side here isn't going on at all. I think this is all stopping it. So I think you do need to cut that one and push the wire in. So let's get that done. So with the cable tied snipped, this is now free. So I can push that there. I feel like this shouldn't be this fiddly, but let's see if we can get that on. And I'm just going to come around this side just to check the wire. Everything looks good. The important thing here is to make sure that you're not pinching anything. Yeah, that was probably harder than I thought it was going to be. Just a bit fiddly. Just really make sure you protect those wires and make sure they're not in the way when you're pushing this together. 2 screws to put this on. Now, we're so close to the end. When it comes to rowing machines, and I've had good experience with rowing machines, the touch points are really important, and I'm going to have a row in a moment. This isn't a review. Think of this like a tiny mini review. But one thing that has really impressed me is the runners on this seat. So I'll show you what I mean. And so many rowing companies just have like 4, like 2 here and 2 here. And in my experience, you need more. So what they've done here, NordicTrack have gone for 6 that go along the rail. And then they've also got these 4 internal ones which will stabilise it on the rail as well. So I'm looking forward to a really good rowing experience on this, but we will see. When you put the seat on, you very clearly get a label there which says rear. And then, I don't know if you can see, but you've got a cutout there for your coccyx and a rounded off bit there for your front bits. And then you just slide it in like this. Oh, that's really smooth. That's a really good action, very smooth. Not so smooth. We're very nearly there. I'm just going to install the bumper, and the sloped end goes towards the seat. And then it's just putting the end on here. And then you've got 3 screws which hold it all together. So let's plug her in. So there's the power cable. So that's switched to on, but I'm just going to switch it to off, because although I've got a switch socket here, not every market does. So let's plug that in, turn my socket on, and there we are. Thanks for watching. I don't know why I get nervous at this part. Right, let's turn it on. And it looks like we're on, so let's press the continue button. And here's the home screen. And we've got some rowing workouts featured now and suggested for us. Right, so let's get cracking. Let's do a quick workout. So one of the best things about NordicTrack is the iFit software they run. And I'm just going to try this beginner row just to see what we've got. So here we are. I mean, the picture quality here is excellent. I love the colours on these 22-inch monitors from NordicTrack. I would say if you're used to NordicTrack equipment, maybe you've already got a treadmill or a bike, then this is typically NordicTrack. It feels very solid. The touch points feel very good. I'm going to spend a lot more time with it before I do a full review. But first impressions, very good. Well, I hope you found this video useful. It really is easy to build compared to, say, a bike or a treadmill. However, putting those foot plates on is just time consuming. As I've mentioned, I'll put a link in the description if you're thinking about buying one of these or any NordicTrack equipment. I'm a bit out of breath. That will take you to the best price on NordicTrack's website, and it also helps support the channel, which is greatly appreciated. And until next time, there's lots more to come with this rower. See you soon.